We had so many rumors confirmed at the D23 Expo 2017, and one of the big ones that was announced and it's already in place is the new Disney Uber system called the minivans. Minivans, you get it? Minnie, like Minnie Mouse, vans. It's clever. Until this announcement, the only way for guests to get from one resort to another was to take a cab or an Uber, or take the Disney bus or some kind of other Disney transportation to one of the parks, and then another form of Disney transportation from that park to the resort you want to go to. I've done this several times. I actually did it on our July 2017 adventure when I went to Animal Kingdom Lodge and I was at the Caribbean Beach. I had to go to Animal Kingdom first and then I went to Animal Kingdom Lodge, so that's how I've done it in the past. But now the minivan service will allow guests to go from their resort to just about anywhere on Disney property. Now there have been a lot of questions about these new minivans at Walt Disney World, and I wanted to take the time to answer a few of them here. First and foremost, at the time of filming, the Disney minivans are currently being tested at the Boardwalk, the Yacht Club, and the Beach Club resorts. Now that's only for the testing phase. I'm sure in the future they'll be bringing it to more resorts and all over Walt Disney World, but for the testing phase, for right now, at the time of filming, they're only trying it at these 3 resorts. I've heard from several friends who've told me that the trip was complimentary, so they're not currently charging at this time, but by the time you see this video, they might be charging, so that's probably going to change very soon. With this big announcement, we also learned about how you can order your very own minivan when you're at Walt Disney World. Now many of you may have heard of the Lyft app. It's a competitor of Uber's. It's a way for you to order your own, basically taxi, but it's a point-to-point transportation service. Now once you arrive on Disney property and you open the Lyft app, you should, and I say should because I haven't tried it yet and we're still, getting some information in, but you should be able to click the Lyft app and see the minivan service become available to you right there, so you can order your own minivan from your smartphone. To me, this makes a lot of sense. You've already got the Lyft app right there. Why not work with Lyft? They've already got the system in place. You download the app and you're able to order your own minivan very easily and quickly. Now there are a few other details that I learned about the Disney minivan service, including the fact that all of the Disney minivan drivers are themselves cast members. Now no matter how you feel about Uber or Lyft or the taxi service, I feel like Disney's going to say this person is a cast member driving the minivan. That's why you want to use the minivan. They're there, they can answer your questions, they know all about Disney World, and we know them. Now the Disney minivans will not be that giant Honda Odyssey that we saw with the big mini ears. That's not what the minivans look like. They're actually a Chevy Traverse and they can carry 7 guests. Now at the time of filming, the current operating hours for the Disney minivan service is 6:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. Now I have a feeling like these hours are going to change in the future, because if I'm going to opening of Star Wars Land or Toy Story Land, or when I went for Pandora, I had to be out there at like 5 in the morning and I want to be there bright and early, and 6:30 a.m. is not early enough. So maybe they'll adjust the hours in the future, or depending on an opening they'll adjust the hours, but I feel like those could change. I've also heard that there are 2 car seats for children in each Disney minivan for guests to use. So the big question everyone's asking, Michael, how much will the Disney minivan service cost? Now at the time of filming, the Disney minivans will cost $20 to get from one location to another location at Walt Disney World. No matter how many people are in the car, no matter what the distance in Walt Disney World, it's $20 from point A to point B. Now in my humble opinion, $20 is just a little bit too high. I feel like maybe in the future Disney will bring it down, but it's hard to know for sure at this point. But consider for a moment a family of 7, if they want to take an Uber, they have to take an Uber XL. Maybe that'll cost them around $20 to get from a certain point at Disney to another certain point. So I can see how Disney came up with that number. But as a single guy traveling alone, it doesn't make as much sense because it'd be far more expensive for me to get a minivan than it would to be a standard Uber. So we'll see what Disney does in the future. Now at the time of filming, Ubers and taxis are still around at Walt Disney World. They're still taking people places, they're still transporting people all over, but maybe that'll change in the future. Considering how many people enjoy going off Disney property to experience other resorts or other theme parks, I don't leave Disney property when I'm there, but I know a lot of my friends do. It makes a lot of sense for Disney to still keep the Uber system and taxi system around so that other people can get where they need to go. So we'll see what the future holds. So what do you think of the Disney minivan service? Would you use it? How many in your party are traveling around? How early in the morning do you want to get to the parks? Let me know in the comments below, and then let me know in the poll what price you think is reasonable. Do you think $20 is reasonable from point A to point B, or maybe a charging system depending on what time of year it is? Let me know in the poll and the comments below. Personally, I can see myself using the Disney minivan for very specific purposes, like getting to a resort super early in the morning for like sunrise before the buses are running, something like that, or maybe an opening day event, something along those lines. I can see myself using the Disney minivan service. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.